Alright, so we're back at the Cressida. What was I supposed to say again? Alright, so on this episode, we're going to try to get everything mounted up.
That was take 3.
Alright, so on this episode, we're gonna get everything mounted up, get the manifold, turbo, all the lines, the plumbing, all hooked up. I feel like a conductor. I don't know. Okay, let's get started.
That was 8 takes.
Ow, I smacked my hand off the stud. Okay, so we just took off the old oil return for the stock twin turbos. And I didn't swap this car, I bought it swapped. So when you buy swap things, you know the people that swap and cut corners.
Like
so, yeah, like this. So I was feeling around and I'm like, okay, there's a hose coming off, but I can't see where it's going to. It's going nowhere. There's like a security wheel lock in this to block it off. I don't know where this one originally. I can check the manual and see where this actually went. But yeah, that's how they blocked that. They just had this in here with the hose clamp over it. Okay, so I just got the oil feed pumped up in the engine. I put some thread sealant on it, so that's in there nice and tight. Next thing I'm gonna do is turn over the engine, make sure oil comes out. I have a kill switch, so I'll make sure that it won't actually start, just turn it over. If oil comes out of here, then I'm good. Another thing that I want to point out is if you look down here, there's lots of bends in the cable. I have a 90 degree down there, which is going to be going into a 90 degree to the turbo. I know that's not ideal, so I'll most likely be changing that in the future, but this is just the quickest way that I can, get it all running now. As long as we get oil coming out of here, it should be good. I no longer need this. Yeah, that's why I got part of it. So it's time to start putting it back together. I got the gasket on, now it's a manifold. And the wastegate that I had to put JB weld on it because I tightened it too much and it ended up cracking. So I had to JB weld that. I'm excited.
that's perfect.
Oh, that actually is perfect because that line is going straight like this.
Yeah. See? Pipe thread. Now start putting the studs in.
Oh, I'm such a stud. Okay, so we torqued what we could. And then after torquing the top ones, I got a general idea on how much tension I had to put on the bottom ones. So it's all torqued down with our, not mine, snap-on thing. That's not cheap. And now, we're basically ready to mount the turbo on it. It's cold in this barn. Okay, so we just cracked all the bolts loose, so see now I can adjust it while it's on the car. That's it right there, feeds at the top, drains going to the bottom. It's as straight as possible. I'm just gonna quickly put these on. Okay, so got everything mounted up, got the manifold on with the gasket, the wastegate on now. It's finally time to mount up the turbo and get all the lines connected. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff hooked up already, got the turbo clocked in the right position. But now the problem is I can't get this, I can't get this AN fitting on because it's hitting with the mount that goes to the manifold. So turbo has to come back off. It's a little bit of a process, but it could be worse. So that was a lot easier. We should have done that at the start. That's quite nice. All right, so we're all here and we're gonna try to start it up for the first time. No downpipe, but I mean, I'll figure out a way that I can not melt everything before I start it. And yeah, let's see if it works. Oh my God! It all comes down to this.
We need more than that.
All right, so we got started. It idles nice, but the thing is, after idling for about 5 seconds, it starts like running really rich, like your eyes burn and you can really smell the fuel. I'm assuming that's just because I don't have my O2 sensor or a downpipe installed right now. And so yeah, it's just correcting because it doesn't sense any fuel, so just dumping fuel into it. So once I get the downpipe, I think it should all be good. Yeah. It's exciting. Okay, so finally got the downpipe, got the wideband up there and O2 sensor down here. We're gonna quickly wrap it and get on the car, and this should be the last part before we can actually get running. Now, one thing I do want to mention is I accidentally bought a 2JZ GE, so a naturally aspirated SUPRA O2 sensor. I looked everywhere online and I can't find any forums where there's a discussion where they're going between, if a GE O2 sensor will work on a GTE. So this is going to be a little bit of an experiment, and if it works, then you can start using GE O2 sensors on your turbo 2JZs. Yeah, let's wrap it. Me and Josh just finished wrapping the downpipe. I think it turned out really nice. I think that's the last piece to actually have this car running and driving. I just quickly set up the wideband and just hooked it up to a battery. And if everything goes well, it should start up just fine. Okay, so we got it running pretty rough. Although I was able to rev it a little bit, I think the ECU still has to do some remapping, but I'm gonna start up maybe like a few more times and see if it improves. If not, then there's something else wrong somewhere else, maybe like a big vacuum leak or something. I heard something go. So as you can hear, it starts up, idles for about 5 seconds, and then it just, I don't know, it's being choked out somehow. You can try giving it throttle like once it starts up, and it'll keep going. But on the AFR gauge on the wideband, on startup it's anywhere from 12 to 14, which means 12 parts air, 1 part fuel. But if you let it idle and wait about 10 seconds, it'll go all the way up to 18 and max out the gauge. So that's running extremely lean. I don't know if the ECU still has to do some remapping, but on throttle, it'll come back down to around 14 to 12. So another thing it could be a big vacuum leak that I have no idea where it is. That's making it, once it comes back down to actually idle, it just is letting in unmetered air and just making it lean out. But I don't know what could be causing it. If you guys have any ideas, anything that would maybe help, that'd be I would appreciate it. I think I found the problem. I bought just a cheap China intake, a 3-inch with provisions for the map. I think the issue was the 4-inch pipe. I just couldn't calibrate for that size. So it idles now. I'm going to take it for a quick test drive and see if the ECU will remap. And we'll see how the air-fuel ratio is.